Hello everybody, welcome back to Farmstead. In today's episode, we're getting the farm ready for winter. And it's super important as winter approaches to make sure that your property is weatherized, to make sure your animals are ready, and to make sure that any last minute maintenance is complete. So one issue that I've been kind of putting off is the doors to my shed got really wonky and eventually they just kind of broke. In fact, one of them broke off. So I took some time this last weekend when we had some nice weather and did some maintenance on the shed, fixed the door, reattached it, reattached the lock. I cleared everything out, swept it out. One of the problems that I've been having is that we've had a lot of egg predation lately. So we haven't lost any chickens in a while, but we have had critters getting in and getting our eggs, and they take the eggs from the chickens, take them inside the shed, and make a big mess in the shed. So I had to clean all that up, basically unloaded everything from the shed, swept it out, cleaned it up. I usually do about 2 deep cleans per year in the shed. Once in the fall, once in the spring. Usually a lot more of a deep clean in the spring because I'm doing a lot more work out there, but it's important also to clean it up in the fall. And one of the important reasons why I really needed to get it cleaned up was that I have baby chicks that have been living in my garage that are about a month old, and I've got to get them out there because they're really starting to stink up the house. You know, the wife is not happy when she comes home and there's chicken poop smell all throughout the house. We got to get them out of the garage and moved out to the shed. They're about 4 or 5 weeks old now at this point, so it's a really good time to do that because they feathered out enough that they can survive. We've still got a heat lamp on them out in the shed, so they're going to be fine. We've covered their brooder with hardware cloth and clamped it down so that no predators can get in there and disturb them, and it really is a pretty good system. And I'm a big proponent of actually getting chicks in the fall. Traditionally springtime is the time of year where most people think of baby chicks on the farm, but if you get your chicks in mid-October, then your chickens will be ready to start laying eggs in mid-March. And that's just at the start of when the days start to get long, when the chickens really start laying a lot of eggs, and it really works out great. Another benefit is that they tend to actually skip their first molt. So when chickens molt, they lose all their feathers, and their egg production goes way down. So if you get a chicken in October, then they start laying eggs in March. Then that next fall, they'll typically lay eggs through the fall. They'll slow down a little bit in the winter, but they're still young chickens. A young chicken lays a lot more eggs than an older chicken. So they're going to lay throughout the winter. They're going to lay strong all throughout the next year, and you got basically 2 years before you have to worry about a molt. So getting chicks in the fall really, really helps to optimize your egg production in those critical first couple years of the chicken's life. Now, if you're a longtime viewer of the vlog, you know that last year I actually built a greenhouse enclosure for the chickens to live in throughout the winter. And that was hugely impactful because it really protected the chickens from predators. It provided a much needed source of heat, so their egg production didn't go down as much because they had the power of the sun holding in that greenhouse. It was really warm in there, got up to 70, 80 degrees most days. So the plan is definitely to do a greenhouse again this year. That'll probably be the next episode we do in a few weeks. But for now, I really needed to move the chickens from their static enclosure. You know, we've got a static coop. We've also got a mobile coop. So I really wanted to move them to a fresh part of the yard. The area where we've had them has gotten really worn out. They've eaten all the grass. And I just wanted to get them to a fresh location. Again, we had some egg predation. We had, I think it was mostly possums that were getting in, eating eggs at night. You know, this time of year, chickens don't necessarily lay eggs in the morning. They may lay any time of day. In fact, last night I found one at the very end of the day. It must have been laid about 5 or 6 o'clock at night. So it's really hard to be always out there collecting eggs. You don't necessarily want to be out there 5 or 6 times a day collecting eggs. So it's tough to get all of them, and those predators love to come in there, especially those possums. They get the eggs, they eat them, and you know they're just in there all the time harassing the chickens. It's not good for anybody. So we decided to move the chickens one more time, give them some fresh grass. We're going to put them in the mobile coop for a few weeks while we're awaiting all my materials to get here. I've got to get some greenhouse plastic and you know a bunch of PVC and all the other materials that we're going to need to build our greenhouse. So we've kind of got them located in the middle of the yard. So I had some friends over this weekend, and they helped us kind of wrangle the chickens, move the coop, we moved the fence, moved all the feeders, moved all the waters. And I think they're going to be really happy in this new location with some fresh grass until we can actually get the greenhouse built. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you all again in a few weeks when we do our greenhouse build.